Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's In Square Sports coming back with another video today. We're going to be talking about kind of the opening couple days in this NBA restart. So we're just going to go through each team's opening game and kind of our breakdown of what we think is going to happen and different storylines and stuff like that. So, Nick, I'll let you go. The first game is Utah at New Orleans. I mean, it's not at, it's Utah and New Orleans, of course, playing in the same place. But so what do you think about this game?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm taking away more from this game than I think the other game this day. I think this is a massive game for both. Jazz are proving themselves without really second best scorer on the team,
Yeah.
Bogdanovich, and the Pelicans are in the race. I believe they are the 9 seed or the 10 seed right now. They're the 10 seed. Yeah, they're the
Yeah.
10 seed right now. They're really the last reasonable chance of getting into the playoffs. They need this win. Two desperate teams trying to prove themselves. If I have to take a team here, ooh, man. Oh, God. I'm going to take the Pelicans on this one, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I'm going to take the Pelicans too. This one, to me, this first day, it's not really that interesting, honestly, because like Zion is questionable to play. He might not even play in this one, but I don't really think it matters. I think if Zion plays or not, I think New Orleans is going to win this game because Utah, it's their first game back. Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell, like who knows what their chemistry is going to be like. And Bogdanovich is not there. I think New Orleans has been playing well in the scrimmages. Brandon Ingram's looking good. They have Lonzo Ball, who's playing good. I just don't think Utah has the depth to do very well. I really think Bogdanovich is going to hurt them a lot more than people think, and I've said that before. But going into the next one, the two LA teams. Who do you think is going to win this one?
Oh man, this series is interesting because the Clippers don't have Lou Williams
Or Montrezl Harrell.
or Montrezl Harrell, which is really their main depth. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get to go with the Lakers on this one. It's gonna be a big win for the Lakers, to be honest. They just sort of asserting their dominance, and I think if they win this game, they pretty much are finalizing they are the 1 seed.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with the Lakers on this one.
Okay.
I just don't see really how they lose. Also, J.R. Smith and is it Dion Waiters has been playing
Yeah.
They're both been playing really well.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the Lakers.
This is tough. I really want to take the Clippers on this one, to be honest, because I think Anthony Davis might not play.
Mm-hmm.
And I think LeBron, I think it's going to be Kawhi and Paul George are both going to probably play in this game. And I think they'll take this one more seriously than they will probably any other game. I think they're really going to try to beat the Lakers here. And I think Kawhi, like towards the playoffs and in the playoffs, he's a different type of player when he plays. And I just feel that will lead the Clippers to beat the Lakers, especially without Anthony Davis. I think they're really going to try hard to win this game. And I think the Lakers without Anthony Davis, without Avery Bradley, without Rondo, just are not going to have quite the talent to beat the Clippers in this one, especially with Kawhi playing at full strength. So I think the Clippers take this one.
If AD's not playing, I would take the Clippers. But I don't like the fact that I think Montrezl Harrell and I think Lou Williams are really I don't want to say their third and fourth best player, but you could make the arguments.
They're pretty cool. I think you probably are right there.
Lou's
I think
probably the third best, with Pat Bev being the fourth, and I think Montrezl Harrell is the fifth best.
Okay.
And those guys are they're both not 6-man of the year candidates, but they're both like elite 6-man type of players. So I'll go with that. So the next game, let's go with the Magic versus the Nets. Our first game. This is an interesting game actually, because they both need it. And if you want to watch G League basketball, here you go. I'm taking the Magic on this one. I don't think the Nets have a shot. They're probably going to go 0-8. I'm going to be straight honest.
Yeah, I'm totally with you. I don't think the Nets probably will. I think they'll win one of these, but they're really not going to do well. Orlando's probably going to blow this one out of the water. I don't see Brooklyn winning this game at all.
I've also The Magic I've really liked. I said
Yeah.
in another video. I like the Magic going into this.
Yeah.
I think they're the 7th seed or 8th seed.
Yeah. So then Memphis and Portland, the next game after that. This one's on NBA TV, by the way, if you are wondering. This is on Friday. So Memphis Portland, it's tough because I really like what the Trailblazers are doing, especially with Nurkic and Hassan Whiteside both playing. It's along with C.J. McCollum, Damian Lillard, and a skinny Carmelo Anthony. I mean, that's a really good five right there. But then you have Memphis and you have John Morant, who really needs that 8th seed. That they know New Orleans has a pretty easy schedule, so they really are going to be wanting this game. But Portland wants it even more because Portland has to make up even more ground. So it's kind of laying out both sides there. I think Portland's going to get this one though, because I think with John Morant being as young as he is, I think Portland and Damian Lillard knows how much they need it, and I think they're going to pull away.
I've got Portland on this one. As much as I love Ja, you made the same argument with Kawhi. He's a different breed in the clutch.
Yeah.
Dame is the most clutch player in the NBA. I'm taking Dame, and I'm taking the Trailblazers in this one. Then we got a pointless game coming up.
Yeah, exactly.
The Suns versus the Wizards. I got the Suns, honestly. They're just more talented.
Yeah.
And they got Devin Booker, and he's by far the best player on that court.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the Suns by a pretty big margin without Bradley Beal for the Wizards. Washington doesn't have a whole lot. I would take the Suns as well. So just, I guess, going straight into this is pretty interesting. This one right here, Boston and Milwaukee for their first game back. This one's going to be interesting.
This is a must-watch. I'm going to be honest. I'd rather watch the Trailblazers and Grizzlies. I think that's the one you have to watch if you want NBA. There is no other game you should watch. I know I'm backtracking. There is no other game you should be watching. Grizzlies and Trailblazers is the must-watch game of the opening weekend. I'm going to say that right here.
Probably.
Celtics and Bucks. Man, that's tough to pick, to be honest with you. I like both these teams. I think the Bucks. I'll take the Bucks in this one. I think the Celtics are going to take a little bit of the heat up.
Okay, that's fair. I'm going to take the Celtics because the Bucks are already in that number 1 seed, and Giannis has even said he's like, hey, I'm not like these seeding games don't mean a whole lot. He's kind of mentioned that how he's going to play as many minutes as he wants to play, kind of, because it's not really. It's just about getting in shape. So if he feels through 3 quarters he's good for the night, he's going to take the rest off. And I think Boston are not going to feel that way. I think Boston are going to be. They're going to be like, we need to try to win and get up to the 2 seed if possible. So I think they're going to really want to play solid, take Boston. And then going into Sacramento, San Antonio, what do you think there?
Does it matter?
Nope, but
both teams' talent is I feel like the talent level is pretty much even, to be honest with you. Spurs, I would take the Spurs just because I trust Popovich a lot more.
Okay. Yeah, I see that. I mean, Sacramento is hard to like, especially since I believe Marvin Bagley. I could be wrong on this, but I think Marvin Bagley, one of their top players, might be out. I think he's out, but I can't remember for sure. Either way, I think San Antonio. I like a lot of their players. With DeMar DeRozan, you have Aldridge, and then you have Lonnie Walker, who is a player that is pretty underrated. I think those 3 players are really good, so I'm going to take the Spurs as well.
Rockets and Mavs, man, let's not stick on this one. We have a tendency to go on the Rockets and talk about them for 30 minutes, but
I'll be quick on mine.
You go first, because I'm still thinking.
Okay.
I'm not really sure, to be honest.
I'm taking the Rockets, and I know you might say biased. You're biased. No, I mean, yeah, I might be biased a little bit, but the Rockets, James Harden, and this is one thing I didn't really say in our other video about teams that are interesting. We talked about Eric Gordon's injury a little bit, but I didn't really say this, so I'm going to say it now. James Harden has looked great since he's come back from the bubble. He's played really good, back to his MVP form. You know, he had like 30 points in the first half of their last scrimmage game. He made like 6 or 7 threes, I believe. So he's playing really well. I think that Russell Westbrook, their chemistry looks to be working. Robert Covington looks amazing. I think the Rockets are. I think they're really, really good, and I think the Mavericks. They get Luka's really good and everything, and I like Luka and Porzingis. So it is tough to say this, but I think the Rockets just have a little bit more than the Mavericks have.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna lean the Rockets, to be honest. I think they also desperately need this win, and they have been playing a lot of minutes to really get guys warmed up. Like, I'm pretty sure they've been playing their stars a lot more than anyone else has. They're really trying to get in shape, and I think they're pretty determined. I'm gonna go with the Rockets on this one.
Okay, then going into the yeah, it is a big game because if the Rockets can get this, that kind of means the Mavericks go down even further into that 7th seed. They'll be like 2.5 games back after that, and the Rockets will be on a high after that going into the next game. So yeah, I agree. So going into the Saturday games, there's only a couple of them for for teams' first games. First one I guess is Miami and Denver. So I think they're both of their first games. So Miami Denver, I'll go really quick. It's an early game, which I think might affect it. It's at 12 Central, so it's pretty early. I believe in Orlando time it's 11 a.m. I think. Am I right on that or not?
It's the other way around.
So it's at 1 p.m. For our time it's 12 p.m. But anyway, it's still really early. So that might affect them in Denver. I know they rely on their home court a lot, but I think Denver is a better team here, honestly. So I think I'm going to go with Denver for this game. I think Miami, yeah, it's kind of near their home. Like they're not really having to travel very far to get to Orlando. I still think that Denver is going to pull away with this.
Yeah, I don't know what to think of this, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the Nuggets on this one pretty confidently, but I think the Heat are gonna take a little bit to just heat up.
Makes sense, I guess.
Yeah, that's really what I would say with that game. Big game, honestly, for both teams as they are trying to fight for their seeding. Nuggets. I think if the Nuggets win this, they pretty much are locking themselves for the 3 seed. So yeah.
Okay, then Utah, Oklahoma City, another interesting game. Utah, of course, played opening night, but they'll play again here. But we're really talking about OKC here. So I think Utah going in at New Orleans, I think they'll lose to New Orleans, so that does play a factor because then they'll be like, oh, we're 0-1, we gotta start picking it up. So they'll play harder, but OKC has a different type of energy and they really want to win, with Chris Paul and some of the younger guys. They really have a drive that is we want to win. They're bench players. You might not know even their bench players' names necessarily, but they all play really, really hard. And Andre Robertson came back from injury, a 2-year injury pretty much, and he's back. He's a good defender. I think I'm going to take OKC on this one, and Utah will fall to 0-2. So I know it's kind of shocking, but I think OKC will get this.
Yeah, I think it really depends on the first game and how the first game ends up. But I got to go with the Jazz, I think, on this one. I think the Jazz, especially if they lose, are going to have to win this game. I think they notice that too. They're very even matched teams. But I just trust the Jazz, I feel like, in this one. More than I trust the Thunder. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Jazz.
Okay, then we'll skip, I guess, New Orleans and LA because they will both play. That's an interesting game also, but we'll skip it because it's not their first game. So Philadelphia and Indiana. So both of these teams, very interesting because they're very close in the playoff, and this might be a first round matchup in the playoffs because I think Philadelphia, I can't remember their seeding exactly. I think they might be 4-5 or maybe 4-6. I can't totally remember, but very interesting. I'm gonna take Indiana. I don't really know why I'm picking Indiana, especially because Sabonis is out. But I don't know. I'm just gonna take Indiana because I feel like it. Honestly, I don't really know why.
I feel like I can only I gotta go with the 76ers, to be honest with you, but I'm not saying that confidently. I think this is a big telling game for really how much the home, not being in that home atmosphere is going to affect it, because they are the best home team. They're one of the worst away teams in the NBA.
Yeah.
So is this environment classified as a home environment or an away environment for them? I think it means away, but we'll see. I think they are better than the Pacers, and I do think they'll correct a little bit. Also, everyone's healthy. I gotta go the Pacers, to be honest with you, or the 76ers to be.
Okay.
And the last one, the Lakers versus the Raptors. Raptors haven't played. Yeah, what do you take away from?
I think Anthony Davis will be back by this point for the Lakers. I know we're going to talk about Toronto, but the Lakers with AD, they're really hard to beat. I could see if the Lakers lose this game, they'll want to win it more. But if they can beat the Clippers, I honestly think the Raptors will win this because they need it more. They want to keep that 2 seed in the East, the Lakers. If they beat the Clippers, I think they'll be feeling really good, not kind of worrying as much about this game, especially because they have some other big games coming up. But I think the Raptors will win this game. I really do like the Raptors. I think they're very talented. So
yeah, I'm gonna take the Raptors, especially since I think the Lakers are gonna win. If the Lakers lose, I think they're gonna be more inclined to win this game. But if they win and they're locked into that 1 seed, I think, like you told me about the Bucks, is Giannis has sort of just been like, I'm gonna play to get in shape, not to play to win almost. And maybe I'm putting words in his mouth, but I do think that's a very Lakers mentality to have. Is I'm gonna play to get, so I can prepare for the playoffs and prepare for, the second and third round and not wear myself out too fast. So I'm gonna take the Raptors on, I'm gonna take the Raptors on this one. But yeah, this is all of our games. Do you have any other takeaways?
Not too much. I know that these are some interesting games, and I know later on, the next day we have some interesting games. Well, we won't go into those in this video, but then I think the NBA did a pretty good job of finding matchups for these teams. I get some of the Pelicans have a super easy schedule, and some teams have really hard schedules, but for the most part, I think they did a good job putting these games together. So yeah, I think it's gonna be the end of this video. Stay tuned for our other videos. We have a lot of stuff coming out that recently, and we'll have a lot of stuff coming out when the playoffs and the seeding games start. So thank y'all for watching. Go follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Links will be in the description, and we will see you guys next time.